Hey, good evening. This is Kathy Beatty with Divorce Support Anonymous. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's Friday night. I come into your life Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, hopefully to give you some encouragement, some hope, some tools and techniques, things that are going to help you as you go through the process of divorce. Not just going through it, but after divorce. There are a lot of decisions to make after divorce, a lot of choices, a lot of things that are going to change, some things you want to change, some things no longer fit in your life. It is such a life-altering process that I've decided to devote really the rest of my life and my ministry to helping those go through divorce. So I have this is my motto, if you will, that my work is to help guide people through the trauma of divorce with the least amount of damage, emotionally, financially, physically, and spiritually. Enough damage has already been done. So, how do we minimize that damage so we can move forward and get this behind us? It is such a painful and messy transition to get you to a life on the other side of divorce, which you are going to create and make your own beautiful, beautiful life. Tonight, I want to talk about, as you probably, you didn't see because I never put the ticker up. Handling life after divorce, the overwhelm of the everyday things that keep coming at us. I wish that life would stop or just stand still for a moment so we could just simply process through the divorce. It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, life carries on, needs carry on, and there's a lot for you to deal with. And so I wanted to address that a little bit tonight. I know I have several resources that are going to help you heal and get through divorce. One, which I continue to hear really great, encouraging affirmation about. And it's this book, 30 Days of Healing After Divorce. It takes you one topic per day for 30 days, allows you to digest what has happened to you, gives you a couple simple thoughts to process through during the day. Advisable, you would read that little bit in the morning, you would think about it and ponder about it through the day, and then you would respond to a few simple questions. It is 10 minutes of honesty at a time. Really, that's all it would take you for each page of 30 days of going through, and it's going to touch on those areas which you're struggling with right now. Having worked in this field for the last 17 years, I've heard your stories. I've heard hundreds and hundreds of stories. There are many similarities, but there are a lot of things that are unique to you, unique to your life story. It's just a difficult, challenging, transitional time. So let's talk about where we're at tonight and handling life and overwhelm that can come. Your kids have needs, the bills have to be paid, the lawn has to be mowed, the taxes have to be dealt with and paid. All of those can really just come crashing down because we're at full capacity, right? We don't have any extra room right now to deal with extra stuff. And so we can very easily go into overwhelm where we simply just can't function and we freeze and we can't do anything. And then we're no good to the kids. We're no good to our own life. We're no good to our job, which we desperately need right now. We're no good to our community, to our family, to our friends. So how do we handle life a day at a time? Because that's what we have to do as we go through this process, a day at a time. Sometimes a couple of hours at a time. If you have read my book, this one, the first in the series of Rebuilding Your Life After Divorce, you probably read about me talking myself through hour by hour of the day. So the alarm would ring and I would talk myself through the hours. Okay, can you put one foot out of the bed? Now put the other foot out of the bed. Can you stand up? Can you walk in and get your shower? Can you prepare the kids' lunches? It was that simple and that direct because I was overwhelmed with the divorce and also life that had to be managed and had to be dealt with. And sometimes it is taking those teeny tiny steps. So I want to ask you this question, no matter where you're at in the process, you may be in the middle of it, or at the very beginning, or even deciding to step into a divorce. What is the most difficult for you right now? And I'd love to hear your feedback. If you want to make a comment, you can do that. But I love to hear, what are those things that are most difficult for you right now? Maybe it is the everyday function. Maybe it's the finances. Maybe it's managing the finances, or the children, not knowing how to handle and work with the children. There's a lot of things that can be difficult, but one of them may stand out for you right now. And I wonder, what is the most difficult for you right now? And once you've identified that, I want to ask you, how are you getting support with that? Is it anger? Is it overwhelm? Is it depression? Is it loneliness? Whatever is the most difficult for you right now, how are you getting the support that you need to deal with it? And I hope and pray that you are not someone who has decided, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to pull up my big girl panties. I'm going to pull up my big boy panties, whatever you call them, jockey shorts, and I'm going to do this on my own. You can't do it on your own. Not in heal. You can do it on your own and jump into the next relationship and complicate further your life and your kids' lives because you haven't been intentionally healing, but you can't do it on your own. You can't. You need other people. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with needing other people. We are all human. And I have dealt with the people with their PhDs, the professionals. I've even had a marriage counselor in my group, a divorce attorney in my group, a few divorce attorneys in my group, because it's different when you're going through this as to being the objective advisor to someone else. It gets really personal and really integral into your life. So whatever is the most difficult, I hope that you are getting the support that you need. You can reach out to me. I talk with people all the time. I give you your first consult at no charge. Sometimes that's all you need. That's okay with me. And then some decide to hire me as a divorce coach, or some decide to come into my support groups, and some decide to hire me as their domestic mediator. All of the above are fine. Or if you only need the hour, I'm good with that too. I want to help you walk through this difficult journey. So, okay, how do we do this? How do we do life along with the divorce? I'm going to give you 3 points for you to think about. Point number 1, lower your expectations. If you're a type A personality or someone who has always been on top of everything, this is not the time to be on top of everything. You need to lower your expectations. You'll be back to running at top speed again, but right now you need to lower your expectations. Don't expect the house to be spotless. Don't expect you to give 100% at your profession. Don't expect to do all of the extra community things. Right now, just survive. Save your energy for yourself and for your children. Lower your expectations of what you think you should be doing perfectly every single day. It's going to help you. It's really going to help you going through this. Number 2, deal in the immediate. I promise you, if you look too far down the road of where you're going to be at in 5 years or 1 year or sometimes next week, it's going to overwhelm you. Do not look too far down the road. I say this in every one of my support groups. It's in many of my materials. Deal in the immediate. Like I said, I was walking myself through hour by hour. That's okay. That's okay. That means you are surviving. Talk to yourself. That's okay. It means you are surviving. Deal in the immediate. What do I need to do? What has to be taken care of in the next hour, in the next 2 hours, in the next 5 hours? What do I need to do now to get through this period of time? Deal in the immediate. Leave the big picture for later. We work on the big picture. If you join me for, where's my book? My 8-week course of Building Your Future After Divorce. We'll talk about the future and the big picture and dreams and goals and getting you on your new track to create that beautiful life that's after divorce. But that's later. That's later. Right now, deal in the immediate. And I don't know how long you'll need to be doing that. Maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year. But do it. Spare yourself the overwhelm and the shutdown that's going to come because you are overwhelmed, because you are trying to figure everything out at once. You can't figure this out. You can't. Not today, not tomorrow, not in the next couple of weeks. But you will figure it out. You will get to where you are looking at the big picture and where you want your life to go and what you want to do and what dreams and goals you want to go after. You will, but not now. Not now. Give your task more time. You have tasks that have to be done. Give them more time. Don't give yourself the rush in expecting it to be done quickly and efficiently. You don't need to be efficient right now. Again, you'll get there, you'll get back to it. Right now, you don't need to be efficient. You need to survive, and you need to have self-care, and you need to have compassion on yourself, and you need to be connecting with your children, being that consistent parent, making sure that they're doing okay. Give your task more time. I have so many examples of this when I was newly divorced because I had a large ranch, I had a yard, I had a lawnmower, I had a lot of things to take care of. And if you read my book, you'll understand when I got to the point where I decided, okay, this is too much. I need to make a change. But for the first year or so, I had this home. I had two of my children were home. And was it two or three? I think the third one was just launching, being 18 and just launching into college and life. But I had a lot to deal with. And I could get very frustrated very easily and get angry and want to throw things across the room because I still to this day don't have a lot of patience when it comes to putting things together and any type of mechanics or anything of that sort. But I realized, you know what? Let's just really slow it down here. Because basically, I can do just about anything if I give myself enough time and research into the area that I'm dealing in, whether that's putting something together, whether that's trying to figure out taxes or budget or anything of that sort. If I could give myself more time and not put that pressure on myself, right? Because we do it. If I didn't put that pressure on myself, I gave myself more time to do things, I could figure out basically anything. I may need some help. May need to ask some experts to come and help me, but I can figure it out. I can do this. True, I haven't done it before, but I can learn this. And when I learn this, I'll be able to know how to do it and to deal with it in the future. So if you give yourself more time to do tasks, you're going to see, I can do this. I might need to get some support. I may need to ask some questions. I may need to research. I may need to watch some YouTubes, but I can figure it out. And as long as I don't force myself and rush myself, I'm going to be able to do this. See, that's where our frustration comes in and our anger and our overwhelm is because we think we have to figure it all out quickly. And we don't. We don't, unless it's something that's life-threatening. We'll have to figure out right away. We have to make sure we meet our deadlines with our bills and all of those things. But even that, we can give ourselves a little time and figure out our own strategy on it. So I hope these 3 tips are of help to you, because they really were to me. And I teach this to all of the folks that I support when I coach them, and when I are they're in my support group or they're redesigning your life group. I give them these 3 tips. Lower your expectations. Deal in the immediate. Give your task more time. If you will do those things, those 3 things, you will give yourself a lot of grace. A lot of grace and compassion. And you're going to get there. And you're going to be skilled and knowledgeable in so many areas because you gave yourself some grace. So a couple of beautiful scriptures that actually I used last week, and I thought, wow, these really fit for today too. So guide me in your truth and teach me. This is a prayer of David, Psalm 25. Guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. When we have hope, we're not going to be defeated. We're not going to be overwhelmed. When we know that God is there waiting for us and watching over us, we can deal with life so much easier. He gives strength to the weary. I know you are weary. I know you're weary. God knows you're weary. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. He does that. I've seen him do it in my life so many times, and I know he wants to do that in your life as well. You know, before I came on and I started the live video, I went back and revisited a song that was my song in the rawness of my divorce, which was in 1995. And this song came out. It's from Pam Thumb is her name. And if I could, without imposing on copyright, I would play it right now for you. But you can look her up on YouTube. The song is called Life is Hard by Pam Thumb. It is such an amazing capitalization, what do I call it? It captures, I'm trying to say, capsulizes, that's it, capsulizes where I was at. And even in the heaviness and the sadness of where I was and the overwhelm, there was this line that repeats a couple times in the chorus that says, every fallen tear is always understood. Life is hard, but God is good. It is a very honest song of the rawness of feelings and where we find ourselves sometimes, not only in divorce, but in life. And just to know that I am understood, that you are understood, that every fallen tear is seen. In fact, God talks about how he puts our tears in a bottle. They're so precious to him. But I encourage you to look up that song, Pam Thumb, Life is Hard. And I want you to look it up because I want you to know that every fallen tear is always understood with God the Father. Life is hard. That's a truth. But God is good. It is a bigger truth. So thank you for joining me tonight, and I look forward to seeing you every Friday night. If I could be of help, please reach out. I've had several, goodness, I don't know how many consults I've had this week, a lot of consults, all the way from how to file for divorce, a request to go to court with someone, how to get my husband moving because he's dragging his feet on this divorce, overwhelm, starting new school year, so many topics that I've had the honor and privilege to talk with people about. And if I can be of help to you, please reach out. You see my number there. Shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I'm pretty easy to find and connect with. So I hope you will. I pray your journey is short and moves forward quickly so you can get to the other side of divorce. Thank you for joining us and have a good evening.